Slug Tactics
is coming to Game Pass on day one, and it sees the classic series moving to a new genre. It's a grid-based tactical fiesta of fun, full of arcade-style inspiration, including the difficulty. You'll battle the rebels across multiple sectors with over 100 different level layouts on hand. It's really fun, really hard, and ultimately a satisfying adventure. Let's explain how it works and why I think it's worth checking out in the XboxEra review of
Metal Slug Tactics.
This game is a classic SNK property renowned for its pixel art and high difficulty. Tactics takes those stylings and modernizes them with mostly successful results. Across multiple biomes, you'll face off against seemingly impossible situations as you try to outwit your way through each challenge. The setup for this title would be like a roguelite, I think, most of all, as you have a meta-leveling system that unlocks new characters, weapons, modifiers, and more. Every run begins with a randomly chosen assortment of maps, and you'll need to clear 3 levels in each sector to face the boss. Complete all challenges in a single run without a single failure, and you win. You have to restart every time you lose a level, though you'll keep any unlocked sectors available. That goes the same for any characters or upgrade currency that you found. Expect to die early and often, as even on the base difficulty, this game can be punishing. I'll hit on how the gameplay works in a bit, but know that every move you make will matter. The harder difficulty ramps things up with less healing and other options available, and it is a true challenge for those willing to take it. All that difficulty in the world wouldn't matter if it didn't control well and wasn't fun, and thankfully it does, and is. At the start of each run, you'll choose 3 fighters, more unlocked as you complete objectives, with a healthy roster available fairly quickly. Every character has numerous loadouts, including completely different weapon types. As this is a grid-based tactics game, everything has a set range and damage zone. Like, one of your early characters can either throw grenades or use a grenade launcher. The former is infinite ammo-wise, but the latter has a set amount. After playing for a few hours, I had unlocked a couple of different setups for her that offered wildly different gameplay. And by the time I had my first successful run, my characters played kinda nothing like they did at the beginning. Everyone has in their first slot a weaker weapon with infinite ammo. There is a second weapon slot with limited ammo that can be replenished based on what mission type you choose. Those mission rewards come in 2 varieties. One is simply complete the mission objective, and the other is complete a specific task during it. You'll earn coins for mid-run upgrades, cash for meta leveling. You can replenish your ammo, replenish your soldier spawns for when you die mid-mission, and more. It's a really fun system that encourages experimentation. Certain bosses can be melted with the right setup, and only your objective matters, because you can have like 25 enemies left in a boss fight, but once that boss HP hits 0, you win. How each match plays out keeps things feeling fresh while you're leveling up your crew. My favorite part of that leveling process is once you start getting armor and vehicle call-ins. They really change things up at just the right time. It kept me from ever feeling bored. Because the gameplay does start out fairly basic. You have 1 and then pretty quickly 3 characters who work in a very specific way, and you head out to fudge some shiz up. At the start of each fight, you'll position your characters in specific areas. Every move sees you have 1 base action and 1 base movement point per person. If you use the action point first, you lose the movement point. And you can only move so far, and the guns all have a set range. Key is finding cover, denoted by a large-assed blue shield. This gives you an extra bit of health that will eat up incoming damage. Quickly, this changes up as you get mods that drastically alter this setup of everything. I had one character gain both an action and movement point every time she either moved or used an ability. Those abilities are earned in runs by completing levels and leveling up your characters. While you can jump into newly unlocked zones right away after opening them up, it makes clearing out the first zone or 2 each time worth it. You'll get your character powered up as they head into the tougher fights. That character XP leveling only lasts for each run, but it is extremely important. You can make weapons hit harder, add in entirely new abilities, and gain powerful modifiers that let you attack multiple times per move and a heck of a lot more. Once all of your team's movement and action points are spent, the computer gets its turn. The game, on normal difficulty at least, only has a computer really act if they can do anything directly against you in that turn or get really close to you. Otherwise, they just kind of stand still in their grids and wait for you to get close to them. On the hard difficulty, they are far more aggressive, changing things up in a way better than simply only giving them more damage and health points. Also, one of your most powerful moves is the sync shot. If you attack an enemy that is in the line of fire of your comrades, they will attack it for free as well. It can lead to real quick enemy kills, though with the AoE damage fighters like the grenade launcher, you'll need to make sure that your character is not in the way, or else they will take damage. Overall, I think the combat of the game is by far its best feature. It's just so damn satisfying to figure out the best way to take all of your enemies down while completing the mission objective and the extra one. Also, on the normal difficulty, you don't have to worry about having one or two of your characters dead at the end of a mission. As long as you win that level, they will come back at full health the next time. Alongside that gameplay, the graphics are a mwah of beauty. It's that classic SNK Neo Geo pixel art style here in full. It looks and even sounds exactly like a Neo Geo title from the 90s. I mostly played on the Series X, but the game is Play Anywhere, so I hopped over to PC as well. It looks and runs great with no 3D trickery. It's just full-on pixel art eye porn, and it looks amazing. Metal Slug has had its fair share of over-the-top crazy enemy types, and that legacy lives on here in Tactics. While the base enemies are your typical cannon fodder, the bosses look incredible. They have tons of animations and clear, defined attack patterns that, at least on normal, didn't feel cheap. They are hard as hell, but you know what's coming thanks to the classic but functional UI. The game's OST is an absolute banger, from yelling the game's title at the opening to all the heart-thumping tracks. I freaking loved it. Also, didn't have any major bugs while playing, though Auto HDR once again only was available on PC for me. As we do review things early, they can add in Auto HDR support at or after launch on console, which I really hope they do, as it popped on my PC in comparison. Again, my only real complaint is that it's kind of slow to start on the meta leveling grind, and it can be really over-the-top difficult to the point of unfair on the hard difficulty in later game boss fights. Wrapping things up, this type of game generally has a ceiling it can normally hit. As a lower-budget, genre-bending revival of a beloved but older IP, Lake Gear Studio managed to find an excellent blend of old and new. While it can be insanely difficult on hard, it's just the right amount of punishing on normal. It's beautiful, it sounds great, and it's available day one on Xbox Game Pass on Cloud Console and PC, so I think this one's an easy recommendation to download or buy at $25 for any Tactics game fan.